Yo, what are we saying, people? So, this is another YouTube video. 5 things I wish I knew before I started training, so you can literally save yourself some time. Okay, let's go into presentation mode. Cool. Is it working fine? I think it is. Cool. All right. So, firstly, yeah, let's get actually into it straight away. If it works. Cool. There we go. So, this is why you should trust me. Yeah. I just make this little premise so that okay, I'm someone who knows who they're talking about, because there's a lot of dweebs that don't look the part, right? So this is what I used to look like, this is what I look like right now, and to look like this, you must be doing something right, yeah? Because if you look like this and you're not doing something right, it doesn't really work that way, yeah? Let's go. So, pretty much everything works, yeah. Just do what you like more. Let me explain this one. So, most training splits work, whether that's the bro split, push-pull legs, upper lower, Arnold split, push-pull, basically 99% of training splits that are popular work, yeah? Let's say something stupid that, you've never seen before, and someone comes up with it. It's probably doesn't work, right? If something has been working for like hundreds of years, it does work, yeah? Because there were people 100 years ago who were in crazy shape, yeah? Now, a lot of diet approaches work as well. I lost my mouse, there we go. Carb cycling works, non-carb cycling works, keto works, carnivore works, intermittent fasting works. Now, obviously, with these last three, obviously they're more optimal if you're trying to lose body fat rather than build muscle, but they somewhat work, all right? Now, the difference between someone who sees results with a specific approach compared to someone who does not, it's how well they do it and how well they stick to it. And the best hack to make sure you do something well and for long enough is to make sure you like it. Yeah? I hate upper lower, but there are people who like it and make good progress with it. If you know what I like, I love the bro split. Cool. Yeah? I hate keto, but there are people who like it and make progress with it. Obviously, muscle building wise is going to be much, much, much harder because you need carbs for that. But you can still build muscle on a keto. Is it the most optimal way? No. But if that's the only way you like doing, then you can do that. As long as it's something, as long as it's not stupid, it will work. So you probably heard of like water diet. You've heard of air diet or some shit like that, like where people just breathe air and that's what wow, that might be, I don't know, 1 calorie. It's not, but right, there's this guy seen on Insta and he preaches that he doesn't train. He never trains. And all he does is, like, I don't know, fix his mental or some bullshit and he looks in good shape. I don't know. He probably used to train before, so he's got the physique, and now to maintain, you don't really have to do too much. Cool? Now, however, there is no point in having the perfect plan if you cannot stick to it, because over time, it will not be beneficial for you. If you have the perfect plan, but you absolutely hate it, you're not going to stick to it. Or at least, even if you do stick to it, you're not going to do it as well. So, for example, right, let's say, this is not true, but let's say the push-pull leg split is the best optimal split ever. That it's the king, and it's proven by hundreds and thousands and all that study, right? Sorry, my English is not my first language, but let's say it's the best ever. Me personally, I do not like the bro split. Obviously, I train hard, but I'm gonna hate it, right? I like the bro split, so I'm more likely to train hard with the bro split over a longer period of time. I probably see more results with the bro split because I'm gonna be more consistent and train harder with it. Obviously, I've been training for ages, so I've got that pain tolerance, but for a lot of people watching this, you won't have that mental and physical pain tolerance, and it's best for you that you just do what you like to begin with, yeah? And then optimize it after. So, let's say you're someone who likes the bro split, but you see, okay, the push-pull legs is the best ever, it's the most optimal, you're probably not going to stick to it, but not do it as well. So might as well just drop down to the bro split, do it really well, train super hard, and over the long term, you'll see more progress with it, yeah? Same with diet approaches. Actually, let's go back to this. For example, I hate keto. So, I'm not gonna do it as consistently, right? It's not gonna work for me. I don't like intermittent fasting. I don't like carnivore and stuff like that. I like eating a lot of carbs, and it works well for me. I can stick to it, and I make loads of gains. Yeah. Then supplements. That's point number 1 done. Yeah. Point number 2: supplements work, but will do fuck all if your foundations are not in the right place. If your training, nutrition, and recovery are not on point, supplements will not work. or best case scenario, if you're lucky, your body will not be able to use them the best it can. Let me make an example. Think like you're playing Jenga, right? I think it's called Jenga, whatever that is, yeah. And the building is about to crumble. The only reason the building is about to crumble is because the layers underneath are not stable. There's some pieces that are missing, so it's not balanced enough, right? You can make a wrong move and boom, everything crashes. However, when you first start the game, the top is stable because the bottom layers are in place as well. There's nothing that's missing there. The top is stable as well, and you can move things around at the start and it's easier. But as you progress into the game, it's going to get harder and harder and harder because the foundations will not be there basically. Yeah, there will be less pieces. Think training, nutrition, and recovery, your bottom point, right? Your bottom blocks, and supplements are on top. They will stay on top, they will do the work, they will make sure that your physique, like all these 4 things done right, will result in your physique being good, basically. Being in the shape that you want to be, right? So the building is your physique, and all these blocks are training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation. The building is not going to be stable, so your physique is not going to be stable. It's not going to be the best it can be if the bottom blocks are not stable. So nutrition, training, recovery. Cool? Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not cutting any of this. You're going to get to see the raw version of me, yeah? So you should be making really good progress without ever touching supplements. Ever. So this is a mistake. This is something I wish I knew, and a mistake that I made as well. My training, nutrition, recovery was not on point, but I was taking supplements, and I was not feeling the difference. Now, let's say if I remove a supplement or add a supplement, I will feel the effect straight away because everything else is on point. My body is primed to take the supplements in, yeah? Once you can consistently stick to the basics, then you can start adding supplements. So let's say you've been sticking to good nutrition, good training, and your recovery is good, and you've been doing it for a month or 2, and you feel like, you know what, I can handle this, it's more than doable, it's not hard to do, and I'm making good progress, I want to go to the next level. Okay, add some supplements, add some creatine, add some protein powder, maybe to help you get more protein if you need it. Maybe add some magnesium to help you sleep. Maybe get some ashwagandha. Maybe get some, I don't know, all this other stuff as well. Maybe get some EAAs so you can train hard in the gym and, you know, improve your recovery and all this stuff. Cool? Number 3, carbs are king. Now, yes, I did say like intermittent fasting and all this shit can work, but especially if you're trying to build muscle, this is more for guys who are trying to build muscle. Yeah, like point number 3. The other ones are pretty much for everyone. I tried low carb for over a year. I wish there was a picture here, but I did make some progress, but not nearly as well as when I have higher carbs. Yeah, so carbs are the primary energy source of your body. Without them, it will not function to the best of its abilities. Like, it's a primary source. You need them. Yeah, so you want to place majority of your carbs before and after training to fuel your session, so that you got enough carbs before your training, you got enough energy, you can push hard in the gym, you can train hard, you got good pumps, and then after training, so that you can replenish that energy and recover well. Yeah. Obviously, some people can have more carbs compared to others. So start off with a lower end and increase progressively. So a lot of people, yeah, this used to be me as well. I used to get really, really sluggish when I used to have higher carbs. That's why I went to a low approach. But what I did like this year was start off lower and then slowly increase them week by week. And that is it. So start off with 2 to 3 grams per kilogram of body weight. It's not too low. This is moderate. But what's going to happen is your insulin sensitivity is going to be high and your body will be primed to use those carbs as well. So most of my clients, right, they come to me and, you know, they're not in the best of shapes. And then what happens, we optimize their nutrition, making it as highly carbs as possible for them. And it's almost like those carbs, they literally just go to their muscles. They go to their physique and the physique just improves. Yeah. If you do feel sluggish after having carbs, it's because your digestion is not on point. So your body is not digesting them, or your insulin sensitivity is kind of high. So literally something that you can do is after you have a high carb meal, just walk for 5-10 minutes. That is, you don't just sit down there and keep watching TV or YouTube or scrolling on your phone. Get some movement in. Eat a little bit slower. Something that I've been doing recently is eating slower. So digestion is good. That's pretty much it. And obviously increase them slowly. If you go from like 200 grams of carbs and then you go to 400, that's double the amount of carbs. You will feel it. But if you increase it slowly, it's gonna be much more beneficial. Yeah. So I literally have half a kilogram of carbs per day, and I don't feel sluggish. Half a kilo, 500 grams of carbs, like 2,000, more than 2,000 calories that eaten a day come from carbs. Just think about it for a second. A lot of people don't even have 2,000 carbs, 2,000 calories like overall in the day. I have that just from carbs. And I feel, look, it's, what time is it? It's 5 o'clock. It's dark outside. I'm cool. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? My brain is just functioning on all cylinders. 2 seconds. This is a bit from the snus. I'm not cutting anything, sorry. Then, that's point number 3. Let's get back to something that will help both fat loss and muscle building, guys. Yeah, low intensity cardio is super, super, super important. Whether you're bulking or you're cutting, you should be doing cardio. Yeah. Firstly, biggest reason, overall health process, you want to make sure you live long enough and live healthy. Yeah. If your heart is healthy, you will be healthy. You will live longer. You will live better. Less likely to have, heart attacks, high blood pressure, and all this shit. You already know that. Now, if you're bulking, cardio will help with digestion and increase your hunger, so you don't have to force feed yourself and shit 6 times a day. I've been there. I've had to force feed myself, and I've had to shit actually up to 8 or 9 times a day, which is pretty grim, and it's long. It takes a lot of time, right? It will also help you get a few extra reps in, especially on leg day, as a lot of people will stop their set earlier, not because they've gone to failure, but because they're out of breath. Like, a lot of times, yeah, let's say you're doing hack squats or leg press or normal squats, yeah, you'll stop because you just can't breathe anymore. You don't have any more cardio in you. Maybe your legs had more in them that could handle more, but you're just there and you're just leaving gains on the table, not just for legs, but even other isolation exercises like high rep works where you do like 12, 15, 20 reps. Having better cardio will help you get more reps in so that you don't stop the set because you're out of breath, but because your muscle is actually fatigued and gone to failure, so you get more gains. Boom. If you're cutting, you have to create the deficit you want and still eat some food so you can train hard and not starve. Anywhere from 60 to 120 minutes of low intensity cardio per week, 100 to 130 BPM is fine for most people. So 60 minutes a week. Oh, an hour cardio a week. That's 15 minutes times 4. Easy. Yeah, if you're doing 120, which most people actually don't need 120. It's the upper end, but that's half an hour, 4 times a week. And this low intensity. So low intensity, yeah, is when you do the cardio, but you can still, let's say you can have a conversation with someone else. Let's say you're doing it with someone else, not in the bedroom, right? Let's say you're in the cross trainer and with your friend, you can still have a conversation with them without like needing to take breaks as you're doing the cardio, basically, yeah? Now, why no high intensity cardio? It burns more calories, right? Yes, it does. However, it also makes you more tired, so you won't be able to push as hard in the gym. Let's say you're doing all these high intensity circles with loads of burpees, jump squats and stuff like that. You're gonna be tired. And let's say the next day you've got push or legs. Your shoulders will be tired because of burpees, your legs might be tired, your shoulders might not be like, what's it called? Maybe the muscle is not tired, but the joint is, and all this stuff, so you won't be able to push as hard in the gym, and you will be flat. Then, you'll make you much hungrier, which increases the risk of overeating. Now, you might burn an extra 200 to 300 calories, yeah? Let's say you're doing a half an hour of low intensity cardio and doing half an hour of high intensity cardio. You might burn an extra 200 to 300 calories. Now, they're going to be so much hungrier that it's so easy to consume those 200 to 300 calories extra. And boom, you just go back. Your deficit is fucked. Whereas you can do something that's low intensity. Let's say you only burn 100, 200 calories, yeah? But it's not going to make you hungry, so you're more likely to stick to a diet compared to, okay, you burn an extra 100, 200 calories, but you're so hungry that you end up consuming 400 calories now, and all the cardio they've done, boom, it's gone in the bin. So that's something as well that we need to consider. Anything else that I didn't put here? Nah. So literally pretty much all of my clients do cardio. I do cardio. I've been doing cardio for ages. Yeah. Number 5, one of the most important ones. If you're stuck, come back to the basics. You're not that special. Your body is not that special. You don't need anything fancy. It's not like, if something works for some people, for most people, it will work for you as well. You're a human being. Our physiology is literally the same. We all have muscles, we all have organs. Biology is the same for pretty much everyone. Yeah. If something is not working, come back to the basics. Now, these things, nutrition, training, recovery, supplementation, let's remove supplementation actually from that. But training, nutrition, recovery should not even be called basics. They all end up, I don't know why, like there's nothing else after. There's not like basics and then there's like a higher tier of things that you can do. No, it's just these. That is it. If you want to say something that's higher tier, maybe adding supplements, but then that's only an extra 20%, let's say. Everything else is training, nutrition, recovery. There's, let's say, supplements as well. There's nothing else that comes after. Zero. There's nothing else. Yeah? Or people say, oh, mindset, mental health, that's recovery. Recovery is not just physical, it's mental as well. Yeah? That's rest. Now, if you're stuck, ask yourself these questions. Am I training hard enough or am I going through the motions? Most people, when they come to me, they're not training hard enough. Maybe they're able to stick to the diet. Their sleep is okay. They don't have much, what's it called? They don't have many problems tracking data, but they're just not training hard enough. I look at the clips, I'm like, okay, you've got like an extra 5 reps in there, if not more. Think of it, right? Someone's got a gun to your head. And if you don't go all out, they're gonna shoot and you're dead. That's how hard I want you to train. That's how hard I want you to treat each set. Yeah. Once that happens, your body will start using all the food you're putting in a super good manner. And as I said before, it's almost like that food that you consume doesn't go to body fat, it just goes to muscle. It's weird. Yeah. Then, am I actually in a deficit or a surplus? If you're not losing weight, it's really likely, it's 99% you're not in a deficit. If you're not gaining weight, it's 99% you're not in a surplus. Am I recovered well enough? So, when you go into your next training session, let's say you're doing chest, is your chest still sore from the previous session? Or are your shoulders a little bit sore? Or are your triceps sore? So that will affect your pushing ability. How are you recovered mentally? Like I mentioned before, do you feel burnt out? Do you feel sluggish? Do you feel lethargic? Do you feel low on energy? Do you feel low on motivation? A well-functioning individual that don't really struggle with motivation that often. Like if you're someone who struggles with motivation, you're not functioning well. You like the best motivation I have is when I'm starving, when I'm on a cut. Like when I got to this position here, yeah, the last 4 weeks I was starving. Energy was super low. Like it was really like at this time now I'm good, but when I was trying to get to this shape here, I was gone by this time. However, my motivation was an all-time high. So if you're a well-functioning individual, motivation should not be a struggle. Every now and then might be something, okay? Then you may just need more recovery. There's weeks where I go and not weeks, maybe days, okay, in a row, okay, I don't have the motivation to train. If me, someone who loves training, doesn't have the motivation to train, it's something else. Okay, I just need to take a deload. Yeah, but overall, I don't lack motivation. If you do struggle with motivation, you're not functioning well. And if you're not functioning well, it's probably your recovery. That is it. Because you're doing things and you're not able to recover from it. So there's that. It's almost like a deficit that carries over. And deficit of energy, let's say mental or physical energy, that carries over. And it causes you to be non-motivated, sluggish, tired, and all that stuff. Have brain fog and all that. Yeah? So that's something. So if you're not recovered well enough, okay, are you sleeping well? Okay, if you are sleeping, let's say, are you sleeping enough? If you sleep enough, are you sleeping well? Because a lot of people, they sleep 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, but the quality is shit. So, okay, can I improve that? Okay, my quality of sleep is good. Do I need more sleep? That could be something. Then is, okay, how is my mental health? People talk about it. Yes, it's a little bit gay, but it's really important. Your mindset has to be in the right place. There's nothing physical will happen. Nothing physical will manifest itself if the mental is not in the right place. So you're going through something mentally and there's some kind of work that you need to do to fix that so that your physical can benefit from it as well. That's something. If you don't have motivation, because like there's loads of shit going on in your life, it's literally your body, your brain cannot deal with it, cannot recover from it. Okay, what can I do now so that my brain can deal with what's going on in my life so that I'm motivated again? Like sometimes there's stuff that's going on outside of training and fit and nutrition, whatever it is. It's just life stuff. A lot of people would be demotivated there, but because I have this knowledge, I'm able to cope with it, work around it, and I still don't struggle with motivation. Yeah, I've literally got a court case going on, and I don't struggle with motivation. I'm not stressing about it. That shows I'm a well-performing individual. Yeah. Then, did I change anything compared to when I was making progress? A lot of time, yeah, we make progress, we're happy with it, and we're like, oh shit, I want to go to the next level. Let's see what's next. And we end up tweaking things that don't need to be tweaked, and then we don't make progress anymore. Right? So you training, you got this training split that's working well, and you're like, okay, it's working well, I want to get even more progress. Then you switch around, maybe add some exercise, or remove some exercise, or change the split. Do something, do some kind of fuckery, just change it, and it's not working as well. Whereas you just needed to stick with it. That's it. Yeah? Then, am I tracking data? Or if you are tracking data, what are you not tracking? Data will tell you everything. If you're not losing or gaining weight, it's probably your food and or activity not being in your place. Sometimes it's recovery. Let's say you're not recovering well, your cortisol is high and you're deficit, your body will not drop weight because you're too stressed. So, okay, how can we lower that stress? But most of the time is just food and no steps. Activity, yeah? Same with gaining weight. Okay, I'm eating a lot, but I'm not gaining weight. Okay, what's happening? Is my cortisol that's really high so that my body's not able to use that fuel well? Okay, yes. What can I do for this recovery? Is it physical recovery that I need, or is it mental? Do I need to take some time off work, like 3-4 days, maybe a week off work, or do I need to take a week of training to kind of let my body heal? These are questions you should be asking yourself. If you're not getting stronger, it's probably food and recovery as well. A lot of things come down to food and recovery. Yeah. Sometimes the supplements, but for most people watching this, it's probably food recovery. If you're doing those things well, if food is in the right place, you're recovered, then it's supplements. But first, look at food and recovery. Then, if your physique is not changing, it's literally one between training, nutrition, recovery. Because as I said, you should be making progress with these 3 things. If your physique is not changing, it's one or more of these things. There's nothing else. If it's changing but it's not as quick, it's still these. Yeah? Sometimes the supplements, but you gotta ask yourself, am I training as hard as possible? But am I able to recover from the training so I'm not doing too much, but also not doing too little? Is my nutrition good? Am I fueling my sessions? Am I gaining or losing weight, whatever it is? Am I motivated? Is my, my mental in the right space? Is my body sore all the time, or is it ready to go? Yeah, these few things. Literally, what we do with clients, yeah. Every single client, we've got a tracker with them, and we track everything. So we're tracking how strong they're feeling, how motivated they're feeling, what's the energy levels, digestion, hunger, steps, water intake, and all this stuff. So that once they get to a point where they're not progressing, they're not making progress, we can look back at this data and see what's not working. Okay, you're not losing weight? Okay, how were your steps last week? Oh, steps were a bit lower. Boom, we can fix that. Oh, you were stressed. Why? Because of this thing here. How can we manage this stress now? Is it mental or is it physical? What else? Digestion. I'm struggling to eat, so okay, what is it? Oh, I'm not hungry. How can we improve your hunger now? So many things. This is just on top of my head. But once you track data, that will tell you literally everything. There's no guesswork involved. So yeah, track everything. Yeah. Cool. So you should be making progress by yourself with the information I've given you. If you've been stuck, right, for a while, and you watch this whole video and you get to this point, and maybe you've taken notes or just realized, okay, this thing here, I wasn't doing it, you should apply the thing, and within a week or 2, you should start seeing progress again. Because when you do things right, you will see progress every single week. That's what happens with myself and my clients. If the plan is in place, yeah, they're sticking to it. If it doesn't work, we just need to tweak it, right? if we tweak it, that will work. Boom. If it doesn't work again, we'll tweak again. Boom. That is it. But then there's going to come a point where everything is in the right place, and all you have to do is ride the wave, and you keep seeing progress. Yeah. Now, if you want to skyrocket this progress, or you need accountability, or are struggling to understand what is it they're not doing wrong, that you're doing wrong, sorry, or you struggle to understand what you're doing wrong, or just want to fast track everything, then you need a coach. Right? You can make progress by yourself. All the information it's there. You just need to apply it. But if you want to make it faster, you need more accountability because you can't stick to it, or you're trying things and you're struggling to understand what is it that's that's not working. I'm trying so, but I don't really know. Or you just want to learn more, learn this quickly, learn how to apply this to yourself, and just make progress in a faster period of time, then you need a coach. It's not maybe, it's a must. It's, if you want these things here, yeah, it's not a maybe, it's a must. Now, if you're not bothered about, if you're able to stay consistent, you're like, I'm okay with a little bit slower progress, cool, that's no problem at all, then you don't need a coach, yeah? Now, you need someone who can look at what you're doing from an objective point of view and tell you where you're going wrong. Sometimes we get so stuck, we are unable to zoom out, and we don't see, oh, this is what I was doing wrong. Yeah, a lot of the time when people join and it's been a few weeks, they're like, oh, so this thing here I wasn't doing, I've just realized. Oh, this thing here I wasn't doing it as well. I'm training so much harder now. Well, nutrition-wise, I'm able to stick to it better now because this and that. My routine is much better, right? So that's when you need a coach. If you're happy with making slow progress, cool. If you like my stuff and want to inquire about coaching, there will be a link in the description to schedule a free call with myself so that we can look at what you're doing right now, what's not working, what we need to do to improve it, map out a plan to help you go from A to B, and that is it. I've also got a Black Friday offer going on, so if you're watching this before the 1st of December, you are eligible for that. Cool. All right, speak to you soon.